Hello, everyone. Quinn here. And this is actually surprisingly a bit of a doozy of an update we're getting here. So, geesh, I don't really know where to start, but I guess we'll start on out with the content that we can expect with tomorrow's update. And that is going to be the summertime outfit pack. So, this is going to have one outfit for all of the victims. When I say all, I mean all DLC characters included. Now, it is unclear whether there'll be recolors for each of the skins for all of the victims. So that's something we're going to find out tomorrow when this releases. But if it didn't say so already, this is going to be free for all the content pass holders. So finally, we've actually got something else in there besides the execution pack that we got when the content pass was first released. Now, we actually got quite a lot of stuff here coming. We also have outfit pack 3 for both Anna and Julie. Now, the Anna outfit I actually really like. It is another dress, so it's not going to look too different from the last outfit pack we got for Anna, but again, at least it looks good. Whereas Julie's, not a fan. Could already say I'll probably buy Anna's, even though, to be completely honest, I don't plan on playing this game much. But Julie's, I'm going to have to pass. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of knee-high socks or just long socks in general, and not any of these colors really stands out enough for me to go ahead and get this outfit for Julius, especially when we're going to get another one with the summertime outfit. Not to mention, I still love the 4th of July one we got for Julie. I haven't changed those outfits out since I've gotten them, so I've got plenty of things for Julie where I could pass on this one. Now, it looks like all our complaints about them taking a sweet time to get the blackout outfits have finally reached fruition, as ironically, right around the time when we're due for getting new characters to the game, they finally give us the blacked out outfits for Maria, Hans, and Virginia. So we can expect to see those with this outfit as well. Now, I guess it's still such a shame because they aren't increasing the level cap, which a lot of people wanted. I could care less about it, but this would have been a great time for them of giving these outfits as an increased level cap and just as some excuse for people to grind the game. But we already crossed that bridge, so we're going to go ahead and move on. Now, before I get into the patch notes, I'm just going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room before I end up forgetting later. That is going to be this promotional artwork that Gunn has released for Lord knows what. It is some sort of rodeo poster here. I believe it's Lubux or Rubux. I'm not sure what the boot's supposed to be. It looks like the boot's shaped in an L, so I'm guessing it's supposed to be Lubux, livestock show and rodeo. I'm sorry, all state finals featuring the best Texas bull riders. Now, I'm not sure if this is teasing a family member or a victim, but regardless, it has the date of March 2nd to the 4th at Hickman Field, Lubbock. Okay, yes, it is Lubbock, Lubbock, Texas. It shows stock show free, barbecue free, and a rodeo 450. And then this is the thing that caught a lot of people's interest here. It says festivities include knife throwing, live country music, and more. So this makes a lot of people think that the this is teasing the new family member, and they are going to have the ability to throw knives. Now, I'm not sure if that's just something they just threw in here or what. I really hope that they're not trying to tell us that we're not getting a new family member until March, when the content pass goes into February. And what has been that content passes for what, 4 to 6 months of content, and we're not getting a family member well, characters until the end of it. It's just again, I said it the last time, I'm gonna say it again. Indie company behavior when they first started, they got us a new survivor, killer, and map every 3 months. It was like guaranteed. I'm not sure why this team, which I'm going to assume has a bigger team than behavior did at the start of DBD, they just take their sweet time getting stuff out. Like again, I get there's a bit more work that goes into killers than behaviors did, especially back in the day where they used a lot of animations. It's based just the animations for the power they had to do, but Uh, uh, before I sit here to rant about this, but regardless, I, I'm assuming again this is a teaser for new content. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough as the months keep going by and we get more and more teasers or what have you. But I don't, there's not really much enough to go on for me to sit here and rant about this any longer. So moving on along here, we now go into the patch notes itself. So there are actually a lot of patch notes, and that's just about the only good thing that came out of them deciding to do the month-long patches as opposed to 2 week ones, because those 2 week patch notes were pathetic. These ones actually are getting some stuff done, and one of which, when we get to it, you'll see, is one that fans have requested for some time now, and they have finally gotten it done after over a year of them somehow dodging this issue. But getting straight into it, we have hands. They remove Scout from Hans's tree, and in its place, we will now have Dracula. Now, they did mention here that they actually are putting Unrelenting, which is already on this tree, in Scout's place, and then where Unrelenting was is going to be Dracula. So I'll probably grind out Dracula, see how Hans plays now that Scout is gone. I mean, I already know from experience Hans felt kind of mediocre without Scout, as without Scout, he doesn't have the extra speed boost that really helps him chase. I mean, you can still punish people with his high damage, when it comes to it, but again, not having Scout is definitely going to affect a lot of Fed members who are trying to chase with him. So we'll see how that plays out, especially with that position of tree without Scout. But moving on along here, we have some known issues. So these ones confuse me because I see a lot of these later on as well, and I'm confused as exactly what's broken here. But we have here some players may experience server errors when trying to unlock the perch unrelenting and directly enhance its skill tree. So I'm not looking forward to seeing what kind of errors they're talking about here. But next up, there's players loading to rush week may experience prolonged wait times for players to refill if they leave the lobby. That to me, what that tells me is people aren't playing rush week as much as they used to anymore. So now you're getting the same issues you have in the main game where if a family member leaves, it takes forever for them to backfill. They make it sound like it's a bug. It's probably a player issue, but at the same time, as evidence from the game, where when a victim leaves, suddenly the family member instantly joins. It's more than a backfilling issue. It's a combination of that and just the player limits. Although again, if they were to be able to fix the backfilling issues, even low player count wouldn't affect that too much, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. Now, there's also some issues with native invites to private matches. Again, they're going to mention this later on, so I'm confused as to exactly what is broken here. But regardless, they did say that for these issues, they're going to try to get them fixed out as fast as possible and then sent in for certification so it can release in less than a month. So we'll see about that. Now, there's a lot of things here. In the vein of not having this video be far too long, I'm going to try to skip some of the stuff and just kind of compile a lot of it. So one thing they're adding here is going to be to custom games. They're adding the ability for you to half or double the rate of which items spawn. So again, that's a cool little thing for those of you who want to really tailor made your private game experience with some friends. Now with the fuse box, they fixed a couple of things with the fuse box. They fixed the fact that the mini game referenced you escaping through the basement as a result of completing it, as well as them doing some changes to Johnny where when he gets to level 3, apparently the doors are going to break on him when you stun him with it. So it's going to limit how many times you can stun Johnny with the door, which, if I'm not mistaken, level 3 also gives you scout. So I don't know if they're changing things around or what, but that's actually a little crazy. I'll see if I have an enemy to play Rush Week and maybe I could experience some of these changes. This is, again, one of the main reasons why I stopped playing Rush Week because I'm more someone to play Johnny and I get sorority girl a lot of times, and they're not all that fun to play with. Funnest thing about sorority girls is they're slamming Johnny. Not a, they're gonna break on him when he's level 3. I mean, geesh, that kind of takes the fun out of the game. As I could care less about the wrench. It just functions like a Leland barge, but it's limited to two. and you can't close encounter like you don't want to in this meta, but tangents aside, they are rebalancing the fair in that mode. Now all the girls are going to start off with some level of fear, which before it did previously started with none. So hopefully that'll help with the fear mechanic actually coming into play. Now they mentioned that they fixed the Danny's tamper UI. Now this thing's going to display the correct amount of knowledge added, as well as them fixing an issue where when you start tampering with at least half of the bar of knowledge field, it would fill the mini game up bar completely. Again, this is stuff that was fixed last update, so I'm not sure exactly what they're broken here. This is the only thing that sounds like may have been fixed. They mentioned something about resolving an issue where progress made by applying knowledge in a temperament minigame was reset. Daily is if the daddy player attempted to progress the minigame before the entire knowledge charge will fully apply. Again, I'm not sure what the hell they're talking about here. The only thing I could possibly think of that this could refer to is the fact that if you like were to add your knowledge to the minigame, then stop it, it would it deletes your progress when you come back. I'm not sure that's a bug or if that's a feature to kind of punish you for not applying that knowledge and making sure you finished it or not. But again, I'm not sure exactly what this means. So I'll have to play with Danny a little bit and see exactly what they are fixing here. Definitely doesn't help that my buddy that I usually play victim with is spending some time with friends and family over Thanksgiving. So Uh, again, we'll see how much of TCM I have in me. As I can already confirm, I got another game during Black Friday. It's a single player game, so I'm probably not going to cover much with it. Maybe I do one little video of all the bugs I felt in this game. Is the disappointing that this game is playing is very buggy, but yeah. Again, not to mention 2v8 DBD got extended for 2 extra days, so oh, TCM, it's just bad timing. You released this right around the time where a bunch of stuff is updating and coming out. It's just that's what I mean by them taking too long to do stuff. It's just too little too late all the time. But they fixed a Leatherface exploit where you'd be able to melee attack while opening a door or a gate, and this would bypass the opening animation for those things. Now, this is something I knew about from Alucard, but I kind of forgot about and never tried all the Leatherface games I play, so this doesn't really affect me. Maybe it'll affect him or any Leatherface mains that use this. But next up, we have an issue where Grandpa Perks activating at the wrong level has been fixed. I mean, I guess playing as a victim, you'd never know if this is going on as family. I can't recall any times where perks are activating improperly, but I mean, yeah, it's good they fixed that. They have fixed the patch of grass that was in the UI. I don't think I have a picture of that anymore. I showed it in my last video when I first mentioned this being an issue in the game. So yeah, I'm glad that's fixed. It looked ugly. Now this is one that I'm upset about. They have fixed the barge animation. This is basically known as the barge tech, where I mean it's fixed now, so I guess I could say how to do it. I avoided saying it or even trying to mention it a lot, but I mean, enough people have done it. Enough people to have been able to report this to the devs. But I had a feeling this was coming right around the time Russian Week wouldn't let you pause or look at the scoreboard, as I felt like that was their at first attempts at fixing it. But basically, again, what this was you would click the button to barge a door, pause the game, then click out of that quickly, and then barge it again. And this will allow you to quickly barge doors down. This will help bypass people like Hitchhiker taking 5 hits to break the door up. I mean, you still have to hit it 5 times, but it's still overall trim the animation time in half. So and from now on, if you get to a map where you really have to barge a lot of doors like Family House, you're gonna have to bring a battering ram or barge to the point, or you're gonna struggle with that one. As Johnny, Bubba, and Soda Hands are going to be your go-tos for breaking doors, not the barge takers going. So it's fun while it lasted. They have a lot of issues with blood they're fixing. This one is saying that on the rain setting maps, that being gas station storm, the blood will now remain on you unless you're exposed to rain, as well as blood will correctly display when taking damage or jumping out a window. Now, I'm not sure if this means on a character or on the ground, as I definitely have had some issues with blood where I, let's say, hit Leland, he's bleeding, he'd grapple me, and then after he wins the grapple, his blood would disappear, and I would be able to track off his blood again. So hopefully they fix that issue. As that was one of the main things that I hated that they had in the game. Choose fight. I didn't see any problems with choose fight or the times I've used it last update, but apparently there was some issue with it not stunning family members properly after a sneak attack. This has been confirmed to be fixed. So I was hoping this would have been a choose fight nerf, but okay, let's fix choose fight instead of nerfing it. Now here's what I was talking about. Rough cut. They have finally claimed to have fixed rough cut where every time Leatherface attacks a victim, they will suffer from its effects. So again, that's swinging a chainsaw, hitting an overhead, thrusting. Any chainsaw related attack should work now. So I might have to respec over the scout and see if it's true or not, as I definitely did enjoy rough cut and scout, but when I started to notice rough cut wasn't working, I could care less about the speed. You need some sort of extra damage or bubba. Being fast isn't always enough, especially when most victims have been 50 toughnessing it out since they nerfed endurance way back when, and now that it's nerfed again, I'm sorry, nerfed, bugged again, people are going to go back to toughness instead of endurance again, which, speaking of which, I'll address it now. The devs did not fix endurance in this patch, but they claim that they will fix it at some point in time in the future. So it's been almost 2 months since it's been bugged. I'm not sure what's the holdup, but whatever. Next up, they have fixed the issue with sneak attacks at logical distances. So this is kind of what I expected this issue with sneak attacks being, is basically you would sneak attack a family from too far away, and it'll result in these goofy looking animations where you're nowhere near the family members when you stab them, or the victim's nowhere near you when you're being stabbed. So hopefully this also fixed some of the goofy instances, like I'm showing with a clip here where I'm facing the victim and they stab me, or the family member swung and attacked me. I'm stabbing them. Is a lot of weird stuff with the sneak attacks need to fix. Now this next one is climbing wells. This is something I actually tested out with Alucard a while ago. I forget if I saved it myself. I'd have to look and see. I know I got one issue where I was attacking a victim that's still on the well. So they're going to be fixing you being able to do that. There are some exploits you could do with this, but thankfully I've never seen anyone do it. As ironically enough, the issue to fixing this was use Leatherface, as Leatherface's longer reach from his attacks would solve all the issues you of the victim standing on top of the well. But moving on, they fixed a bunch of stuck spots. I'm not to go crazy on that, so just know there's a lot of stuck spots, like for example in the mill, especially that they've been fixing. Now here's a huge one: suffocating grip. Apparently they're not nerfing suffocating grip. What it is suffocating grip is providing more than a 25% easier mini game for the family. So I honestly believe that, as it definitely felt like the family members would win grapples like guaranteed when they had grip on. Literally, you need to have run grappler and be at full health to win when they had grip on. So something was definitely wrong about that. As just 50 toughness, I'm sorry, 50 strength alone, and yeah, 50 toughness while you're at it generally should be enough for you to win in just about any situation with a grapple, with the outliers being Hands and Johnny. But again, when you got Sissy beating full health victims with suffocating grip, you know something's not quite right. So next up, we have Barroom Hero and Well Desync issues. This is something I reported a while ago, and I've seen it for a while now. I remember I had one friend, she ran Barroom Hero a lot. I never understood why, because Barroom Hero was talking about stuns when really all it does is affect in cap times. But for some reason, when dropping down a well and in capping especially, you end up getting stuck in place. So they fixed that. So now you're safe to run Barroom Hero and not have to worry about again getting stuck in place. So that is good of them to finally fix that. They have fixed just about every issue you could think of with Cook's padlock. Security pins is now going to properly work. And just as I expected, the lock pick exploit indeed was that when Cook were to put a padlock on, let's say, the front door, and then took that padlock off, if the any victim that was picking the front door made any progress, let's say they took 2 notches off, Now, whatever, I'm guessing you break that padlock, underneath that lock's going to be 2 out of 3 done again, as opposed to that progress transfer over to the padlock, being able to take it on and off and just basically reset your progress and all this nonsense that's fixed. So, besides that, all they've really fixed besides this is a bunch of things like clipping issues with assets and cosmetics, visual stuff like textures, stuff like that. There's been some soft locking stuff related to Rush Week from people joining and unjoining, and you looking into options as you're joining, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not going to go too crazy looking at stuff like that. Going on, they have Buck and Rush Week again. I don't know why they didn't just pile up all the Rush Week stuff in order, but apparently multiple car keys can spawn. They fixed that, so now only one pair of car keys can spawn. While they're at it, they might as well make only one fuse spawn if that's what we're doing. But moving on, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I mean, that no, I'd say 2 keys makes sense. I mean, I guess the girl driving a car would have the keys, and Johnny would have took them out and eaten them somewhere. So I guess you could say the one you found in the house is the backup key. So I guess that makes sense. But moving on, they fixed some issues with crashing in private games as well as the issue with the missing generator sound. Apparently, that only affected a host member of a private match. So that explains it. I usually play the private games by myself, so of course that makes me the host, and I'd be the one experiencing the missing sound effects. So that's cool. They've fixed some whole spectating bugs in private games, where if you did the fuse box, you wouldn't see the person, as well as issues you not seeing the proximity warning when you're spectating. Issues with perks not saving private games or crawl space sounds, not playing when you quickly dropped it when you were interrupted from opening it, stuff like that. That's all been fixed in private games. And then they fix a bunch of issues with localization in the text. So that is going to be it for this update. So I said in the video previously before, fortunately that video didn't catch much attention, I guess because it wasn't TCM related, so I'll echo it here. I might try my hand at streaming TCM, maybe tomorrow when this update comes out, would be a good excuse for me to do it. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe if enough of you guys show up and support me while I'm streaming, that might be a bit of a motivation for me to play TCM a bit more. As I already said it before, I'll say it again. I'm a little winded from TCM. If TCM were a peach, this peach is all dried out. It's lost all its juice. So at this point, I play whatever games I can to hold me off until the first week of December, where I finally could get to play a game that I've been really looking forward to in a long time. Because I haven't felt this feeling about a game since TCM was first announced way back when, and we got ourselves look at gameplay from the test, but. I am blanking. I can't think of anything else I could possibly have to say anymore to extend this video. So thankfully, video is less than 30 minutes. So that was my goal here. So I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. I'm sorry for the negativity. It's hard for me to really stay positive about this game where it's just again going back from launch and especially me looking back at all my old clips back when the game was new and fresh. There's still hope for it being, the one to finally make behavior take DBD seriously and not do all the half-ass stuff they do at the game now. Like, shoot, doing a short segue to DVD. The new killer they put out is pathetic, and they haven't even put any word of them making changes to the killer since that public test. Again, like this is DBD when they don't have any competition. They make a rehash killer that basically is a combination of 2 other killers. They don't do anything better than either of those killers. Like, uh, let me stop right there. But again, thank you guys all so much for watching. Again, I'm gonna try my hand at streaming. Hopefully, I could make TC a little more fresher for me. As a lot of these changes are nice and all, but I'm still looking at some balance changes. I I hate to just sit here and pick on victims, especially when hands in the game. But I mean, hey, he could use a nerf too. If we had to nail hands to the cross and nerf the living daylights out of him to finally get some decent change to the victims, so people don't feel like they need to use the same 3 or 4 characters to have a chance against victims, I will take it. Whatever gets people to want to play family, breathe some new life in this game. As if we got to wait all the way to March to get a couple of new characters to get a bit of the players back. Granted, I'm sure there's less than ever before again because this game's just been such a dry state lately. Like, so be it. But again, I'm rambling. This video is going on long enough, so thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. And as always, if you haven't already, get a life.